Everybody, and welcome back to Slay a Trade Thursday. Today's theme is bloom. Bloom, and bees. So, if you know anything about my channel, I know nothing about blooms. I've seen videos. I mean, I could watch videos all day long, but I've never actually, done it. I prepared to do it for a really long time. And then finally I was like, oh yeah, no, I don't think this is going to be for me. Because it's very technical, right? Or at least it feels like it's very technical. So this week, that's what we're doing. Come along for the ride and watch possible epic fails. But, well, I promise you, we will learn something along the way. Okay. So I don't know, 2 years ago when I thought, hey, I'm going to do a bloom because I've seen everybody else do them. So how hard can they be? They can be hard. I bought this mold from Etsy. It's a handmade mold. And it's like the, kind of like that druzy edge, crystal edge. There's a little bit of like druzy there. Like there's some, probably can't see that. There's like some of the larger facets and then some of the smaller. This has never been opened. This is completely virgin. So I don't know. Like I'm kind of scared to even try. But I'm going to put on my adult pants and give it a go. So I think what I'm going to do, well, actually, I know sort of what I'm going to do. So I already mixed up my Timu resin. It's sitting over here hanging out. And I'm waiting for it to get to like 35, 36, something like that. And it is just not wanting to get there. That is for sure. So we're at about 34. So I'm just going to leave it sitting over here in the cup. Deeper resin will warm up faster than shallow resin. So just going to let it sit there. Okay, friends. So I just checked this and it is heating up quick. It's at 37.5. So I think it's time. Let's make a move. So I'm just going to steal like 20 grams, I think. Oh, hold on. I always do this. I forget to take that cover off. Okay. All right. So let's take 20. I think 20 is going to actually be more than we need by quite a bit, probably. I think 19 is a good number there. Okay. So we're just going to use that for our white. And that does not look like a lot, does it? It's not quite an ounce, but it's close-ish. So I just have some white pigment paste. I'm going to give it a good stir. If you haven't used your pigment paste in a while, just give it all, I always try to give it a good stir. And remember, it's super highly pigmented, so you don't need a lot, especially if you're doing a bloom. At least that's what I think. All right, because you don't want your white to be too heavy because then it's going to sink. And I think it's already too heavy. I think I put in too much. Give it a really good stir. Remember, when you're using pigment paste too, you just want to make sure it's really well mixed in. You don't want to have, if it's not really well mixed in, it can leave like pieces of uncured resin, which isn't fun. It's not really ugly, but it's not very safe. I think that's far less. Okay. I think that's okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pour in, I don't know, some resin. I have no idea how much. Maybe fill it, I don't know, maybe halfway. It's not a very deep mold. Okay, so I'm going to do, this mold is really small. So I'm going to do a little bit of blue in the center. And then do some yellow around it. And I'm just using some generic alcohol inks. I'm not using the more pigmented ones. The ones that are kind of kind of the cheaper ones, the less expensive ones, those typically, there's something in here. Those are typically, they're more alcohol, they're less highly pigmented, supposedly. Once again, just going by what I've heard. And so they tend to spread a little bit easier. Okay. All right, so I think that's good. Once again, we're all just making this up together. And I think, so I lost my piping bags. I know, that's a surprise. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to pop my white in here, just into this little cup, and then I will just pour from this cup. It's not ideal, but I'm also not gonna do anything fancy. So I think we're gonna be okay. Because if you use a paper cup, you can just, I should have put it in the paper cup in the first place. Wasn't thinking. If you use a paper cup, you can kind of make a little spout, which makes it a little bit easier to pour from, as opposed to like with the plastic cup, but you really can't do that. So I am just going to start in the center. And just, I don't know, just make some patterns. And then I'm gonna pull a stick through it. So here's what I think we're supposed to do. I think we're supposed to come in and go from like 12 to the center, okay? And then from 6 to the center, from 3 to the center. Obviously this is if you were looking at a clock face. And then 9 to the center. Then we go in from the middle, in from the middle. Who is screaming at this right now saying, that's not how you do it? Not that I think that you sound like that. That's just how I sound right now. All right, so, I mean, should we swirl it? I don't really like the swirl, but you know, maybe we'll just give it a swirl. All right, maybe we should just swirl the whole thing. Okay, friends, I mean, that right now sorta, kinda looks like something. I mean, right? I'm gonna wrap this up and I'll see you guys later. All right, so it is the next day and I have no idea. Like, is this what it's supposed to look like, you guys? I don't want to lift it up too much. I'm afraid I'll dislodge it, but look. Like, that's kind of what it's supposed to look like, right? I mean, I feel like it sort of is. I don't know. Okay, well, you know what? Let's continue on because it looks similar to what I think it's supposed to look like. So I'm not going to give up on this one and just rip it out and start over. We'll continue. So I mixed up some resin. I have no idea how much more this needs, probably 3 to 4 ounces. But you know, I couldn't do just 3 to 4 ounces, so I did 6 because I don't want to not have enough. So I mixed up 6 ounces and I put in some of the Let's resin dye. I actually put in quite a bit and it wasn't dark enough. And I didn't really want to add black, so I also came back in with like 5 drops of each of these, you know, yellow and blue, they make green. So I'm pretty happy with that color. It's deep in the cup, so it'll be much lighter, but you know, I feel like we're talking about flowers and blooms and bees and just all things spring and summer. So I feel like we need glitter. I feel like we need a lot of glitter because I don't know, because life is better with glitter. It just is. So I'm going to add in some of this. This is Chase Ray Limerick. This was part of, they do like a monthly subscription set. This was part of one of those. I can't remember which one. Probably like February, I would think. So I'm just going to put in some pretty good amounts of this because I want it to be glittery. And then I may come back with more. then I'm also going to put in a little bit of this from Olive's Glitter Outlet. It's Supernova. It just has this gorgeous shift to it. It's really hard to tell in the jar, but it's just really pretty. It's got some pink and some white and some yellow, and I think it'll just bring something really pretty to the background. So let's give this a good mix and see what we think. Oh, does anybody else love glitter and the way it like looks when you first put it in, and as it incorporates that shine and the shimmer and just, I don't know. There's something about it that just makes my soul happy. And if you don't get all of your glitter fully mixed in to where it's like everywhere, it doesn't really matter. It won't affect your cure. So there's that. There's always that. And I don't need this to be so chunky that it's fully suspended, because if it sinks, I don't care. I'm totally, actually, I mean, I want it to sink. That way I don't have to use as much glitter. Because I don't really care how much is on the back or how much, you know, is like right on that back surface. I just want it to be on the front surface. Is what I think right now. Watch, I'll unmold it and I'll be like, ah, that was a terrible decision. All right. Oh, that's really pretty. All right, watch, this will need like 2 ounces, and then I've got to go find 4 ounces of green glitter at home. All right, let's hope for the best. Should I spray this? Let's spray this around the edges. I don't think it's gonna mess up anything. It shouldn't. This is fully cured, right? Please tell me it won't screw it up. All right, truth time. Let's see. How much is it gonna take? This is so pretty, by the way. Look at that. Look at that. I'm not the biggest green fan, but I do love that. All right, friends, I'll see you in a few hours. You know what? I felt like the back looked okay. So maybe for my first bloom ever, I feel like we need some sort of like a drum roll. All right, here we go. Look, beautiful mold, all clean, perfect. Okay, ready? Oh. Yeah, that's not what that's supposed to look like. I had such high hopes, but this isn't really surprising, right? Like, that's not surprising that that's kind of how it turned out. The white was too heavy for sure. Yeah, that did not work. Not at all. Although the mold's really pretty. I do like the mold. But, yeah, that's ugly. Okay, well, you know what? Bloom number 1 is a fail, but that's okay. We have plenty of time to do more. So I will go mix up some resin and let's try again. Hi, everyone. My name is Elizabeth, and I suck at blooms. Okay, bloom number 2. Ooh, did not go well. As you can definitely see, I don't know what happened other than, I mean, failure, obviously. Failure is what happened. Okie dokie. So, third time is not the charm. I have no idea what I am doing wrong. So take 1, take 2, take 3. Okay. So the 4th time is not terrible. I wish I would have backed this one actually, but I didn't think it was gonna look right. So let me see. Hold on, let me grab something that's black. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot closer. It's not quite there yet. I think I'm gonna try, let's do this. If I can unstick these because this isn't fully cured. Let's do this. Let's try, instead of 15 grams of white, we'll do 10. We'll pour the rest in clear. And we'll use, I don't have any piping bags, but I have a Ziploc bag. Let's do that. We'll use a Ziploc bag as a piping bag. It'll work the same. And see if that makes a difference. Okay, so here we go. This is, I don't know, 8,276 try, I think. I did back it in blue. Blue is not the right choice, but that's okay. I won't do that again. But you know what it looks like? It looks like something from a horror movie, an absolute horror movie, like some sort of like weird creature coming out of, I don't know, the drain or something. So that is 8,000, whatever I said, 2,040, I don't know, whatever it was. Okay, so this one was the one where it was the closest, but didn't really replicate that here. There was this one, which was just, well, hideous. Here, you know what, let me grab something black instead. Hang on. Okay. So that one, that was the closest. Did not replicate that on the most recent one. Then there was this one, which just no comment. Oops. And then there was this one, which was by far the most hideous. And then there was this one, which also not fabulous. So what do you do when you've done it 8,567 times? You do it again and you change something up, because obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, it's not going to work for me. So I decided that I would use a different resin. I used the J Diction 4 Hour. It's a lot thicker. So I've mixed up 4 ounces of that. And it's just sitting over here. We want this to get to 35, 36 degrees. So I'm just gonna let it sit here and let it warm up. It's already pretty darn thick. Okay, friends, so this is at about 34 and a half-ish. So I'm just gonna put 10 grams into here. It is so thick. Okay. That is like thick molasses. Okay. So now we're going to go back to our white again. Going to put a couple of drops of white alcohol ink in here. Just going to take this temperature really fast too. Make sure we're not getting too hot too fast. Oh, 36. Let's go ahead and decant this. Put it in our mold. Let it sit for a little bit while we mix up our white. I don't love this 4 hour. It's so thick. So thick. But apparently that's the key, right? That is the key, is to have a nice thick resin. Because gosh knows my thin resin that I love is not working for me. Okay, so let's throw in some of our inks. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to put 4 in the center there. And then do the yellow around the side. And then 1, 2, I'm just going to do these all around the edges. Okay. All right, now let's mix up our white. So we already put in our alcohol ink. Let's see how much we have here. Okay. Let's grab a little bit of pigment paste. Literally just dipping it in just the tiniest little bit. And I know a lot of people use like the ocean white from Let's Resin. So maybe if I was using that, maybe we would be like, hey, victory. Or maybe not. It could be me, right? It's probably me. It is probably me. Okay, I think that's probably good. Let's give this a try. Somebody else done blooms and had this much trouble, or am I just like the gifted one? Like, oh, so gifted that I can't figure out the bloom situation. Oh my goodness. All right. Okay. So, got our white in here, which we don't need much at all. I'm just gonna cut off like the tiniest little bit on the tip down there, just a little bit. I don't want a thick line at all. Okay. All right, friends. Well, let's see how this goes. I'm being really quiet because I am like highly concentrating right now. Okay. I'm going to add just a little bit more in the center. Okay, let's do this. All right. 12 to the center. And I have no gloves on again. I will be very careful not to touch this. I don't know what my problem is with the gloves lately. Okay, now let's split our difference. Okay, now I know that that's all lopsided and off center, but I'm okay if it just blooms and does what it's supposed to. I'm okay if it's off center. All right, so I'm gonna leave this just like all the other times. I'm gonna leave it and then I'm gonna come back and I'm probably gonna cry. And then I'm gonna put a sticker on it and we're gonna call it Bloom-esque. It's art, right? So we can do whatever we want. That is why it is art. All right, friends, I will, I'll see you back here. This is 4 hours, so I'll see you back here in about 4 hours and we'll see how this goes. Okie doke. So it's 12 hours later and this is gonna be it. I know this is it. This is gonna be perfect-ish esque bloom. You guys, this is fresh paper and look, it's already full of glitter. How is that even possible? I haven't done anything with glitter and yet here we are. Are we ready for the main attraction here? I'm procrastinating. Let's just do this. All right. I don't know why this is so scary. All right, let's just do it. Can I just tell you, I love the sound that makes when you release it from the mold. Okay. There we go. Clean mold, yay. I'll have to clean the edges, but all right. Are we ready? The back is pretty at least. All right, here we go. Oh, okay. You know what? The white is too light with that purple background. But you guys, and that green or that yellow kind of looks a little sickly. So the color combination isn't great. The white is a little bit too light. And that yellow looks, well, doesn't look great. But it did bloom. It did bloom. I mean, it did. It bloomed. It bloomed, you guys. That is a bloom. That is a bloom. It's not the best bloom, but it is a bloom. Okay, so wow. The 6th time is the winner on this one. I think I'm going to stick with this one, although I could go back. We'll see if I run out of time. But I mean, this one, we're going to go with this one for now. If I have time to pour another one and try with a little bit darker white, I will do that. I just don't know if I'm going to have time, but we'll see. I'll try. I'll do my best. But until then, let's finish this one. So that way, at least this one is done. And then, you know, we can move on to the next. I wasn't really sure what to do about bees. I probably somewhere have some vinyl that has bees on it, but then I would have to cut it out and it's not transparent. So it would just almost be like a sticker. So I didn't really want to do that because I don't want to obscure this stunning bloom. So I have these bee charms that I should have opened before this because I have the worst time opening things. Okay, let's move this out of the way. This is still not fully cured. Okay, so we have some bees, a lot of bees, some honeycombs, a little pot of honey. So I thought we would just take some charms and I don't know, look at and see what we feel. They are for like jewelry, so bracelets, necklaces, things like that, keychains. And they have the little loops on there, the little loop at the top. But all you have to do is take a pair of wire cutters and you can just snip those right off. And there you have it. So now we have a little flower. Let me decide what all we're going to use first before I start snipping and get all snip crazy. Because this is a relatively small mold. So I just want to keep it minimal here. What do we think? I think that's probably good. Oh, I think I have a small one. Yeah, there's a small one too. We could, what do you think about that? No. I'm a less is more person. I'm trying to be a less is more person. I'm going to do those too. Hopefully that is enough. Let's get a little bit of E6000. Okay. I just used the back of like something plastic and put a little bit on there. And then I'm just going to use, trying to see what's going to touch the thing. Because I don't think the leaves fully touch it. So I think just this little body here is what's going to touch. So I'm just going to, sorry, you probably can't see that, can you? I'm just going to put a little bit of E6000 on his little body. Okay. I'm just going to stick him down or her down, him or her. Same thing, just going to glue our little bees down. Okay. All right. Okay, it's been an adventure, you guys. Here we have it from start to finish. Bloom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's kind of funny because 3 bloomed, I think, better than any of them. And then 6 was, you know, marginally acceptable, minus the fact that it's just so light, it's hard to see. But all of the others, wow, this whole like left side, whew, we're just gonna put these into like a, I don't know what we're gonna do with them. We're gonna break them up and put them in something because my heavens to Betsy, these were not successes. But you know what, this one did okay. And this one was with the thinner resin, so yay for that one. I think it was a hotter day that day too, so I think that also made a difference. I think it was much warmer on the day I did this than the other days. So I think it was much warmer, so I think that probably affected it a little bit. And then this one, which is the one we're gonna go with. So I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you hanging out with me on this journey. I would love all of your feedback, please. I obviously have no clue what I'm doing. That's why it took me 6 tries to even come up with something moderately correct. So I appreciate you coming by and hanging out with me and putting up with my drama. And go check out the other videos down in the playlist. It's in the description box below. And we have such an amazing group of people, honestly, who participate in this every week. They're such nice people and just have like truly like just good hearts for everybody. So check out their videos. And then if you like this video, hit the subscribe button and drop me a comment and let me know about your history with blooms and what you would do differently besides not use that icky yellow color that looks terrible against the purple. I'm going to shut up now and let you go watch all the other videos in the playlist. So thank you again, and I hope to see you next time.